So today's game, on the left-hand side, we have Flix playing the reserve 43rd Army on Maverick Income, up against ReeF playing Panzer Hermann Goering on Balanced Income. So we got Maverick versus Balanced. I think we've seen the 43rd Army recently. Can't remember who it was, but it was a good game involving them. And Hermann Goering has done really well to kind of stay fairly relevant, I think, in the meta. It was a DLC division, but it stayed, you know, pretty relevant, which is good. I always like that. Let's get the divisions up, and I've done the old trick of forgetting to bring them up on my screen. That's the dog telling me off for not having them ready. So we got Flix's deck up on screen now, playing the 43rd Maverick Income. Anything interesting about this deck? Was it Flix that we cast with the 43rd? Because I know I've cast Flix, and I know I've cast the 43rd, so it might have been Flix, because I just recall there only being 3 IS2s and making a point about the fact that there were 3 IS2s, and in a 1v1, that's about right, given they're 200 points now. It's pretty costly unit to bring in. I think it was Flix's deck, yeah. It was Flix's deck on the same map against Colonel Koenig. All right. Thanks, ReeF. Remember, no spoilers, though, since you are a feature of the game. Okay, so we'll see whether... if I remember right, Colonel Koenig... Oh, it was a fantastic game. I remember the game now. It was a really, really good game between Flix and Colonel Koenig. And I think Colonel Koenig just got the victory, but it was really back and forth. So we'll see whether ReeF, who is in chat, but he's not allowed to speak during the game, so he doesn't give any accidental spoilers. We'll see whether ReeF can pick up the victory. Let's move over to his deck. He's on the right-hand side playing Panzer Hermann Goering. I am casting these live on Twitch for anyone watching later on YouTube. They're being recorded for YouTube as well. Hopefully the quality stays good. I'm sure it will do. I'm sure it will do. So, what's going to be taking out those IS-2s? We've got a couple of Tigers, not many. We've got the Ju-87 G2s. They shouldn't really be doing that job. We got the cluster planes in A phase. Can they survive until B and take out those IS-2s? I think the cluster planes are the best bet. We've got 12 Panzer Shreks that can do the job, and obviously the flat 41 88mm. So, all in all, I think those IS-2s can go down relatively easily. But the infantry, I think 83 units for ReeF versus 73 units for Flix. He's got 2 cards of Strafniki officers, both on 2 stars, at 3 squads per card. That's a lot of activation points just on 2 squads. Yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens. Who will win? Let's get started. Let's get going. So just as a recap, on the left-hand side in red, we have Flix playing the reserve 43rd Army Maverick Income, going fairly hot most places. Everywhere bar south, really. And a ReeF on the right-hand side in blue, playing the Panzer Hermann Goering on Balanced Income. He's going to want to... he's going pretty strong in the south, but he's going to want to... And in the north as well. I don't think he's going to get those Flammenwerfers there. I think that's just an attempt. But he's going to want to try and, you know, absorb the Maverick push. Will the PTRS get any kills? No. Panzer Shrek might go down. Yes, Panzer Shrek does go down to the early PTRS. Flammenwerfers shouldn't get through up north, especially with the SG-43 there. PTRS unloads and fires backwards. 360 no scope, down goes the Flammenwerfer. Sapri PPSH. Not often you see those in games. Oh, we might get a big kill here. Oh, but Gleitgren going down straight away. Value on those 10-point Sapri PPSH. Is this the return of the Sapri PPSH? Meta, who knows? Probably not. Probably not. But this one has got into the buildings with the Ersatz Trooper. And who's going to win out here? Hard to say. Ooh, the shell coming in from, what, OB-25? Is this 3-gun in the background? Will those Sapri PPSH win out the engagement? Yes, they will. Pick up the surrender. So 2 important kills, or perhaps pickups from those Sapri PPSH units early on. Is it the return of those Sapri PPSHers? Maybe someone might pick them up after seeing these games from Flix. Here's the Strafniki officers that I was talking about. 40-point units, very expensive. And Flix bought 2 of these cards for 2 stars with only 6 squads in total. So spent a fair amount of activation points just on those 6 squads of infantry. They are very impressive now. They've got the 3 DP-28 machine guns, and LMGs are very strong, but really expensive infantry. Fanatical troops as well means they won't surrender. We'll have to see whether those squads will kind of pay themselves off over time. And although the initial engagements have occurred, Flix doesn't even look like he's moved forwards with anything else. We see the M2A1 moving now, so he just seemed to have called in new stuff, and I didn't really see much positioning of units. The M2A1 should go down to the Panzer 4G, yeah. There was also another 4G up on the hill here. Alpha's coming in for the SPW2 22s. There is a forward Sapri PPSH that could have sniped an SPW 233 there. Got a couple of Ersatz Trooping going up north. Yeah, value for them from the Sapri PPSH indeed. But will Flix be able to capitalise? Okay, the SPW... Is it going to fire down the road? I think it's... Yeah, it spotted the PTRS on the road, I believe. And that's what it actually fired on. Now the SP... I feel like the Sapri moved there for a moment. And Flix is kind of missing a trick with that Sapri. Because he could have destroyed that SPW at least twice now. And I think it's now been discovered in the building. So the Sapri PPSH is going down. But I think destroying the Begleitgren is value enough. I think that was about 50 points. Because if you take into account the half track, it's what, a 10-point half track. And I think it's a 30-point unit. So it's probably 40 points. But value indeed. They are going to go down. No more kills from them. And Flix is now pushing forwards on the southern side. Those Strapniki officers not really getting anywhere so far, but they won't surrender, given that they are fanatical. 85 mil up on the hill early. We're seeing 85 mils being purchased very early on, and 88 mils. Very expensive units being purchased early on. I think clear meta to do that at the moment, and I do it myself when I'm playing games. But the question is it too strong? Is that unit too strong, given that people are spending so much on them early game? I think that's a fair question to ask. Bailed out Panzer 4G to the Zenart OBR 4485mm. So the PTRS did get spotted there in the building, I think by the SPW 233. The Recon's definitely coming in handy for ReeF right now. That 85mm is taking a few shots, though, from the opposing 88mm. It is in a little bit of trouble. It might be able to get out, given that it's right on the edge of range. And Flix has, yeah, retreated that, so it does survive. But it took quite a fair bit of damage there. And why is it showing really low on number of shells? Must have taken a lot to fire at those Panzer 4Gs. Yeah, another OBR 85mm up north. BF 109 coming in to try and take care of the PE3. Doesn't quite manage it this time. And ReeF does pull it back around. Actually might be able to get on the back of this PE3. Oh, unfortunate. I feel if that was a dedicated fire, it would have survived. But the rocket planes go back at half suppression. And the fighter bombers do as well, if I recall correctly. But I think there was a third shot that might have forced the fighter back as well anyway. Flix is in a solid spot, says Thierman. Yeah, 1410 up. Maverick income, I would say he is in a very solid spot right now. Does have this centre ground, although Sapri PPSH, you know, is the only thing holding this northern ground. So he does really need to strengthen the north, but there is only one Erzatstruppen really, you know, kind of holding that very far north. So I think Flix is in a strong position. BA-10 goes down, so the black gun there. Especially if now the Panzer IV-G went down in this area in the SPWs, the flat gun's kind of the only AT defense. If that flat gun goes down, there's nothing stopping, you know, the Su-122, the KV-1S, the T-34-85, really. Depending on if he did swing this a bit further north, there are some more units here. I guess some of these Panzer IVs could come onto the hill just here, actually, just like ReeF's doing right now. I think he's trying to snipe that KV-1S. He might get an early side shot. Oh, and he does! Nice work there from ReeF. Something took a shot of that Flak 41, though. I think it was the Su-122, which then Flix kind of called away. It might have been the mortar, actually. I think it's the mortars started engaging. So we got 85mm engaging the Panzer IV-G. ReeF does back that one away. Is it in time? No, it's not. And Sapri PPSH pushing forward up north. I think Flix is just scouting for what's there. I don't think that's Sapri on its own. Actually, it's going to get past the Erzatstruppen there. And with the Panzer IV-G going down, there's nothing to stop Flix capturing this flag. The 38 isn't in position to fire on the Sapri PPSH, so Flix is definitely going to pick up the northern flag. In comes the IL-2KR, going to target the MG42, and possibly the 38 if that opens fire. But the MG42, oh, unfortunate not to take down the 85mm. Just one health remaining on that. PE3 coming into the south. BF109 coming in to try and protect against that IL-2KR. They might go head-to-head, though. PE3 coming in, I think that was moving across to try and counter the BF109. Flix spotting the Flak 41 for his mortar to try and fire on. BF109 being microed, but head on against the IL-2KR. Ooh. Yeah, I think ReeF needs to call that away now. I think he's going to do that. I don't think he can blast another head on, especially with an LA7 in there. Yep, the unit does get called away. Sapri PPSH picks up the flag in the north. 15-9 to Flix now. A very good position to be in. Erzatstruppen in the centre is going to get forced back as well by this 3-gun. Flammenwerfer's dropped off in the centre, but they are going to get destroyed by the Maxim at some point, you would think. And a renewed set of reinforcements for ReeF to recapture the flag. He's going to be able to do it against the Sapri PPSH, but Flix nicking the flag for a little while, and it was a good move to do that, I think. Gets a double tick for a little while, and that double tick really does mean a hell of a lot in Steel Division 2. Panzer IV-G goes down here, I think, to the 85mm, possibly. No, actually, the T-34-85 there took down that unit. So I think Flix is kind of happy with his position on this southern hill. It doesn't look like he's going to push there. I think it looks like his call-ins are mostly going up north at the moment. Definitely concentrating on his aircraft as well. Black 3820 doubling up with the SDKFZ 10-4. Trying to force back that LA7. PE3 in the south did get its rockets away, I suspect against the Erzatstruppen. Su-122 on the hill, taking shots from the 88mm though. And the mortar half-track trying to hit the 85mm up there as well. I mean, that's an expensive unit to afford as a balanced player, but with the current situation with the 85mm, it is starting to become a bit of a necessity to have these lighter artillery units in the early parts of decks. It's a good thing, But it's a tough call-in for a balanced player. These are expensive call-ins at 100 points early on. Even A and even into B phase. But, you know, you do need to take down these 85 mils, because if your opposing player gets up 3 or 4 of them, they are deadly. And they do really become a backbone of the opponent's kind of defense and attack if you do not take them out. SU-152 coming in behind 2 T-34s in the south. Maybe Flix isn't happy with his southern position. I think they'd be better off. Yeah, I think the SU-122 is probably going to stick around this kind of position, and the T-34s are probably going to come further south. Sapri PPSH still holding that central flag. BA-10M, I think, should go down to the long-range SBW233. Depends whether he gets a shot on target. They are, you know, fairly inaccurate. Here comes the planes. P3. Backed up by an IL-2KR and an LA-7 to ward off that BF-109. P3 going after the Panzer 4G. Might well get the kill here. Ooh, 2 rockets away. One of them hits. All BF-109 should get on the back here and pick up the kill. IL-2KR shouldn't stop it. Oh, and then, depending on ReeF's micro here, he might be able to pick up an IL-2KR as well. No, forced back by the 85mm, yeah. That was always going to force him back. And the LA-7 comes away, not quite in the right position to contest against the BF-109 there. So 13-11, ReeF has managed to claw his way back from a 15-9 down. And seems to be a lot stronger, but look at this southern side. There's a slow build-up of forces, and I feel like Flix wants to push onto this. Well, yeah, he wants to push onto this ridgeline here. We know how dominant a position this can be. It can definitely stop reinforcements going into that centre town and allow you to push through over time. He is bringing up a few reinforcements in the north yet, but I think it's the south where he's going to be his main push. Perhaps at the end of B phase, once his Maverick income has built up. Thanks very much for the follow. Manolia. Yeah. $20 left on the clock. We are 14 minutes into this game, so almost halfway through Maverick income now. Sapri rocks, these can be pretty deadly at close range, but they are going to suffer. Well, actually, no, I take it back. They do have the 2 DP-28 machine guns, so a very good unit now, both at close range and at long range, those Sapri rocks. 35 points, they are fairly expensive. Well, they are expensive. But yeah, a very good unit for the Soviets. And I guess with the Shrafniki officers, with those 3 DP-28s, and the Sapri Rocks with the 2 DP-28s and the close range abilities, we can start to see why the Reserve 43rd Army are looking like a decent division right now. 3 T-34s lined up down south. ReeF has spotted this, though, clearly. Will he get his Panzer Shrek in time? Just one Panzer 4H to oppose. We do have another Panzer Shrek down here, but the Sapri Rocks in the perfect position to contest against the 2 Ersatz-Truppen, and should 2v1 this perfectly fine. You can see those Ersatz-Truppen getting utterly decimated. The Rocks in the background helping out with the machine guns as well. Panzer 4H moving around the side, but 3 against 1. 4 against 1 if you count the T-34 up in the north. ReeF is not going to have a good time right now. Feels like he almost needs to back away this Panzer 4H. Does get a hit onto the 85, but it should go down now. Yeah, the 85 did also, I think, hit the Panzer 4. So the Panzer 4H goes down. Looks like we've got a small push up north with the 85 in the open ground. 13-11 to Flix right now. I think ReeF has done a really good job holding on to this point, but down goes the flag. 14-10. In comes double BF-109 BR21's going over after the Sapri Rocks, which I think is a very good choice there. Ooh, I think ReeF was in two minds what to do, or perhaps that was just the AI immediately going in for the kill on the LA7. But yeah, down goes one of the BF109s, and we now see an IS-2 into the southern side. That's going to take up position on top of this hill and really dominate the open ground from the top of this hill. ReeF's also pushing sort of down to this ridgeline here. Could pincer a lot of movements with those two units. LA7 making its way back for Flix, and ReeF is looking in a tough position here to push back, but he has time. Holding Flix at a 14-10, 13-11 for so long in this game definitely gives him time as a balanced player to make his way back into the game. A couple of Flak 41 call-ins now for ReeF into the centre ground. And as long as they don't go down early in transports, I think it's a real good choice. 40 in a nice position to contest against anything. Taking up the, you know, it's a really nice position, this. And even able to fire on this T-34-76 that it doesn't look like it can do. The HG Pioneers move in here. No AT on them, which is unfortunate. So a few men will be lost. Ooh. IS-2 going to start firing against the Panzer 4G. Yeah, ReeF notices the line of sight there. Good micro and good awareness from ReeF to, you know, quickly check the line of sight and not automatically reverse that one away. Because if that Panzer 4G would have reversed back there, it would definitely have gone down. So it does keep that Panzer 4G alive, although, you know, moving into a line of sight that you can't possibly control against that. Unfortunate for ReeF. 2v1 against the Panzer 4H. Yeah, that one goes down. Flak 41s make their way into the centre. There's a Tiger here to defend as well, but can't defend against the IS-2. Flak 41 can do that job. So I think Flix does need to get rid of that Flak 41. Second IS-2 comes in here. And a lot of expensive units now out on the ground. Flak 41 drops off, does snipe the... Ooh, snipes two Studebakers there. I think if they were both officers, that's 80 points down. That's a long way to repaying the cost of those Flak 41 guns. The second one does need to unload. The Strafniki officers up north have picked up that flag. 14-10 for Flix. 14 minutes left on the clock. So T-34-85 starts engaging, but it should go down. Ooh. I think that was unlucky for ReeF that he didn't get the kill in that one shot there. Given the T-34-85, it looked like a hit. I mean, the amount of suppression on it. Yeah, and the damage definitely looked like that was a hit. So, unfortunate. Oh, looks like the PaK-40 was trying to ambush the IS-2 there. Given the close range nature of these infantry, kind of surprised Flix has not moved forwards. It's probably a good thing given the Begleitgrens that are in place. The IS-2 is just shrugging off shot after shot. There's the last APCR ammunition. I don't think the PaK-40 is going to penetrate now. And the IS-2 will eventually finish that one off. But here comes the Ju-87D5. Backed up by a BF109 G6. LA7 on the way in. Will the 87 get there? I doubt it, given the flak in the area. Might make it, actually. LA7 goes after the BF109. Does get the kill. Ju-87 doesn't quite make it in time. So that one did work out for Flix there. Oh, and the LA7's going to circle back around. Surely. Surely. That Ju-87 might make it out, though. It's been a little while now. And the LA7's not... He's not going after that. Very surprising from Flix. I think he just assumed it was going to get out. But, I don't think he would have made it. But very surprised that he didn't go after that. Here the T-34-76ers try and inch their way down and perhaps get this sight line. But the Tiger is moving forwards. can contest against those 76ers. Very impressed ReeF has managed to hang on to this southern flag here with the minimal forces at his disposal. Pack 40 still in position, firing on that IS-2. And Flix could have done with a support truck. Fix up that 82mm mortar, or resupply it, should I say. Stop firing on that Pack 40. Because there's no way that Pack 40 should still be alive at this point. So Tiger and Flak 41 starting to engage the T-34s in the south. Yeah, Flix is trying to get them out of line of sight, but they are going to go down. The IS-2 is the main thing that can contest against these units. The Flak 41 should still bother. Well, oh, snipes the SU-122 with its last AP round, so will no longer bother the IS-2. ReeF is going to need to resupply that Flak 41 88mm. It's done incredible work for him. I think that was the first one called in A phase. We're now into C phase. Flix does have the 16-8, having picked up this southern flag, and still holds on to the one in the north, with the Sapri PPSH somehow still holding this building. So 16-8, ReeF has got 5 minutes left on the clock. JU-87 might well get the IS-2 kill. LA-7 desperately trying to get in here. IS-2 trying to reserve. LA-7's not going to get there. Reverse, sorry. IS-2 should go down. Wow. ReeF, incredibly unfortunate that IS-2 didn't go down. I think there was perhaps just enough suppression on that JU-87, and Flix shoots it down quickly with the LA-7. Flix very lucky, I think, to have that IS-2 still intact. Thiemann shouting out, last IS-2 out now onto the battlefield. All three of them. This one going into the center ground. Tiger's making a move. Flag in the center's been picked up. There's that Stupid again moving into the center town. MG42's made it a long way here. This 3-gun out of HE shells. 85 goes down to the 88mm. Good work. And if the MG42 discovers the PPSH, then this flag is going to get retaken. We've got the officers that are likely to go down. IL-2K are forced back. ReeF might be in a position here to at least pick up these two flags in the north and extend his time. 3 minutes 30 left on the clock. The south is looking in dire need of reinforcements, but incredibly tough right now. Valkyrie actually might be able to snipe this T-34-76. I think they have the grenades. Oh, it goes down to a long-range shot. I think probably the Pack 40 there. JU-87 coming in for the IS-2 that was escaped earlier. Should get the kill this time. It's going to try and head on the LA-7. Nope, does go down. I think ReeF, rather than clicking on the LA-7, I think perhaps he missed the plane there. But yeah, the LA-7, I don't think the JU-87 did actually go for a head on there. There's one in the middle ground, less AA here. That could be the second IS-2 down. This one's only just come in. Oh, big shot from the 85mm. And he escapes again. Flix is getting incredibly lucky with these IS-2s. The one shot from the 85mm was enough to suppress the JU-87 enough that it didn't go down. But here we have a Panzerschreck. The Great Escape rolling down the hill. Are we going to see an unload in the face of the IS-2? Here it comes. Where is it? Where is it? It's over here somewhere. Oh, he's backed away behind the houses. He's going to have to search a little bit longer. LA-7's trying to kill it. Doesn't locate it. IS-2 back alive. Surely it's going to go down. ReeF has to unload. Does so, and that IS-2 is gone. Reverses! Reverses into the Panzerschreck squad. What a kill. That was fantastic. ReeF picks up the 12-12. Indeed, that was hilarious. Oh, what a fantastic kill that was. That was 2 of the 3 IS-2s have gone down now. ReeF secures the 12-12 and now a 13-11 thanks to the Ersatz trooping in the center. He's looking very good for a pushback here. The tides have turned. 26 minutes on the clock. Flix is down and desperately needs to get back ahead. Doesn't have to be ahead for long. Just needs a 13-11 for what? 5 minutes, I reckon? Didn't quite see the timer. So he can definitely do this. PE3 coming in down south, trying to hit the Panzer IV-H. Ooh, doesn't quite get the snipe there. Remember in the previous game, the PE3 was hitting snipes for days, but this time I think aircraft on both sides definitely not doing the job they're employed to do. Ooh! Strafniki officers coming in here. Will the Panzerschreck be able to snipe them? Looks like it. Wow. No. No. Oh, those officers got away with it. Definitely got away with it. I think they were lucky due to the movement orders being given to the Panzerschreck that they managed to sneak by that Panzerschreck. They probably wouldn't even realised it was there. No, Flix obviously knows it's there, but lucky to get away with that. Lucky to get away with that. So the last IS-2 is being smoked off here. Very nice use of the mortar unit to smoke it off. Pack 40 starts engaging. Won't really be able to frontally penetrate from that kind of distance. Tiger might be able to pick up some kind of side shot if he is able to get in range. Probably not going to be in range for a little while though. Looks like we see a push in the center from ReeF, trying to capitalize on the flags picked up earlier. Still a 12-12. ReeF just needs to hold on to this 12-12, use the income advantage that he's got now to kind of stabilize his front line and, you know, give himself time. That's what ReeF needs to do. Just hold on. Flix resecures the lead. 5 minutes left on the clock. That was a good guess from earlier. Su-152 into the center, but there is a Tiger to contest. T-34-85 is going to have to do the job there. Flix's best bet is in the south, given the units that are up north. He does need to stabilize this northern position, though. ReeF is pushing back there, and I think he's definitely targeting the right area. Flix needs to dominate the south. ReeF needs to push back in the north. It's going to be very interesting who will succeed. 13-11 to Flix right now. 4 minutes 30 left on the clock. This Flak 41, I think, is actually a replacement Flak 41. The other unit definitely was lower on health. So a new Flak 41 in here. The 2 in the center look to have gone down over time. I missed those deaths. The Flak guns are still in the same position. Could do with moving up, I think, to give ReeF a little bit more AA presence, a bit further forward, given that he has started the pushback. Those Strafniki officers getting hit from several sides now. Flix is going to lose that flag, but has resecured one somewhere else. I suspect it's this one here. Perhaps not. Back to a 12-12. ReeF picking up the flag in the center here. 13-11 to ReeF. He has, you know, he's holding flags with very few units though, so Flix still has plenty of opportunities ahead of him. Sapri Komroti pushing forward. Panzer IV-H goes down to the IS-2. 231 should go down as well, especially if it's going to reverse into the IS-2. Sight line. I think it's just going to stay away. Flix missing a trick here. He's very low on ammunition though. That IS-2 does need some resupplies. SPW231 goes down. Very little on this southern side. So ReeF loses the flag. But Flix still needs another one, thanks to ReeF's work up on the northern side. Didn't quite see what the Ju-87 went after. Looks like it went after the Su-152. Again, not securing the kill. 88. Oh, sniping the IS-2 there, and that's a big unit going down for Flix. That was his main presence down here on the southern side. He's got no heavy armor down here now. The 85mm is really the only unit that can contest against anything heavy, and the infantry can just sit at range and protect this flag. As long as ReeF can get one back, I mean, he can definitely push one round onto this kind of hill here and hold the flag. That IS-2 kill, the last IS-2 of the game from Flix, and an important kill there, I think. ReeF has that 13-11. Flix not giving up right now. 31 minutes is going to take Flix. Well, it's going to take ReeF to win if he can't push any more flags, but certainly don't think Flix is kind of down and out right now. 85mm going down would be a big kill though. Tiger's engaging it, along with the Panzer IV-H. Should be able to fire on it, although it's dealing with the Strafniki officers at the moment. Mortar's getting involved. Does fire its last few shells. The 85mm is suppressed. The Tiger survives. Very important for that unit to survive. And the 85mm might go down. Jeep going down on the southern side. 85mm into the battlefield. But this southern side is looking very weak now. And ReeF 1311 up. Looks like he is going to be able to secure victory. I wouldn't say it's over right now, but he's definitely looking very dominant, especially in the centre side. And the position of these Panzer IV-H, going to hit any reinforcements coming in. Does have to deal with the T-34/85, which he's going to struggle to do so at long range with those Panzer IV-H's, unless he can get the Tiger in against it. So yeah, backing off for now. I think that's the right decision. LA7's coming in, but a big call in of Valkyr up north. 88mm needs to stop moving forwards, as well as the AA. And the LA7s, I feel like, are a little bit of desperation here. Looks like a Tiger's pushing through, very far advanced here. But an 85... Ooh, does manage to kill the SU-152. ReeF's trying to back that one away. I think he knows the 85 is here. Was desperately going for the SU kill. Nice pickup. But will the 85 be able to take care of that Tiger? Looks like it might get one shot off. No, turning to face the MG42, and these Valkyr might be able to ambush the T-34/85 with those AT grenades. They are going to be out of line of sight for a long period, so they may be able to get in there. Down in the south, the Tanko Thessaloniki is holding their own at the moment against a pushback of the Valkyr, but this definitely does look like ReeF is in a hell of a good position right now. And if this T-34/85 goes down, I think it is going to be game over for Flix. 14-10 to ReeF. Flix has very few units kind of holding flags right now. I think it is going to be a victory for ReeF, but we're just waiting to find out. The dominant position up north, 85 backing away, and the Tiger's just going to be able to come around the side and pop that one. I feel like Tiger should be better able to face that T-34/85 at long range. The thicker frontal armor, I feel like, will enable that Tiger to engage and beat out the T-34/85. The Uzat-Strupen that were trying to capture the flag do go down. So Flix is not out of it. Here comes the T-34/85. Ooh, the PA-3 being called away there. I think he must have lost line of sight. Sight damage going down onto the T-34/85 there. I think that was the Tiger that took a shot. So the T-34/85 in incredible danger right now. Panzerschreck should be able to just push up the road and get the kill here. If ReeF does reassign it, decides to load it on foot, can move it forward. It's going to be slightly out of range. T-34/85 should take care of the SPW. Tiger looking to get back involved. Possibly. I think Flix is desperately going after that Tiger. But look at his units up north. If that 85 goes down, there's just nothing else that can contest against ReeF, so he is going to be able to push through unopposed. And I think once the T-34/85 goes down, that could be game over for Flix. I feel like he's going to realise it at that point. 13-11 to ReeF, 26 minutes left on the clock for Flix to somehow find a way. Panzer IV-H going to take a shot at the T-34/85. Yeah, down goes the 85. Nothing else stands in ReeF's way now, so it's just a matter of time before he realises and pushes on for the remaining two flags. No real call-ins coming from Flix now. I think... here we go. The T-34's in the centre. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a surrender any point soon. ReeF picks up the 15-9. It is virtually game over for Flix now. ReeF starting to capitalise with the fast move orders going on the Panzer IV-H and the SPW233. Trying to push forwards. There's the surrender. Not surprised about that. 35 minutes. 45 seconds. Congratulations to ReeF. 3,855 kills to 3,215 losses. Commiserations to Flix. A really good battle between these two players, I think. And both players had the opportunity to win that. ReeF obviously succeeded, but I definitely think Flix, played a very good game and wasn't very far off from succeeding, in his attempts. I think there was a moment in that game where the IS-2s went down in around a 5-minute space, probably even less than that. I think a couple of IS-2s went down. Some big units went down in about 2 or 3 minute period, which kind of, I think those heavy units going down really took the wind out of Flix's sails, and ReeF was able to start the pushback. Let's have a look at their kills for ReeF, being the victor. The early Flak 41, killing the SU-122 and the KV-1S. That thing stuck around for a hell of a long time, so it was definitely a thorn in Flix's side for a significant period of the game. What else do we have here? Panzer IV-G picking up a couple of kills. Nothing too special there. I think the use of the SBWs was really good early on to kind of root out these PTRS teams and the Sapri PPSH teams as well. So good use from the recon vehicles to do that. Panzer IV-H does pick up an 85 and a 76. Nice trading from that Panzer IV-H. Tiger E. Albert and the Tiger E picking up a number of significant kills here, giving the SU-152 going down, the T-34-85 going down, as well as the 85mm and the ZIS-3. They are kills that this Tiger should not be getting. Maybe a ZIS-3 gun at long range, you can understand, but the 85mm, really the 85mm should destroy the Tiger. And the SU-152 can't really fight back, but that's some thick armor for that Tiger to get through. So some nice kills from that Tiger. Another Flak 41 picking up the 85 mil, the T-34-85 and the Zenor 85mm. T-34-76 going down to the Pak 40. This was in the southern side. Nice call-in for that, call-in and position of that Pak 40. Here goes the IS-2 down to the Ju-87. And then we had the IS-2 going down rear, reversing into the Panzer Shrek squad. That was hilarious. And then the Flak 41 finishing off the final IS-2 as well. And another good set of kills from these Tigers. So only 2 Tigers available to ReeF, and definitely using them really well. ReeF said he thought he was completely lost when he was 16-8 down. Yeah, this game was by no means easy for ReeF, and Flix, I think, put up a really good show and definitely could have got the victory. It just takes a few things. I wouldn't say RNG was the reason that ReeF won, but definitely it does only take a few actions of difference to kind of swing the game one way or the other. The IS-2's being reversed out of line of sight, or ReeF not positioning a Tiger in a certain spot, or the 85mm being repositioned or something like that. It only takes a few action to swing these games, especially, higher up in the divisions, definitely. This PTRS early on, picking up 2 ersatz kills and a HG flamethrower. I can't remember the price of the ersatz. I think they're now 15 points. So what's that? 45 points worth of value from that 10-point unit. We got another Sapri PPSH picking up 40 points worth of value. So the PTRSs definitely did the job, and the Sapri PPSH as well. Shrafiniki officers did pay themselves off here, but it was definitely an expensive set of units to have on the battlefield. This one here picking out the Begleit Grand kill as well. And the 85mm doing the job as well. I did speak earlier in the game about kind of the 85mm and the 88mm and the situation with them. They're definitely early call-ins for players right now, which makes you wonder just about them as a unit and whether they are balanced correctly. It's a question I'm going to put out there. Don't know the answer. Look at this LA7. A beautiful number of kills from that LA7. And yeah, look, I mean, Flix is destroying a hell of a lot of units. Both players actually destroyed a lot of units. So they were definitely up to speed with the call-ins, because that was a high-scoring game, really, for a 35-minute game. It was a fairly high-scoring game there from both players. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I definitely did.